Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We've got Mr. Obla, who is the Special Assistant to the President on Prosecution. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today on the program.
Good morning.
Yes, what can you tell us about this particular case involving Abdulrasheed Maina? Because there are so many people who are quite surprised, but then glad to also hear that the EFCC is going on about this one. But what's the latest thinking now in government, particularly for those who think they were surprised, shocked, and even disappointed that he got in the first place, having been a wanted person?
I think I was on channel last Sunday, and I did explain. I was asked questions about this matter, and I explained, and since that time, facts have come out into the open. And that on that day when I appeared on channel, the president has not made a pronouncement. But now the president has come in a very...
It looks as though we may have lost him, but we're going to quickly try and get that connection back. And so we'll establish that in just a moment. But there you heard him just speaking about what he has said previously. But now that the president has made that pronouncement, we'll get him back right now. We should work that out as quick as possible, so that we could get him back. But yeah, ever since then, the president has made that pronouncement, but we also like to take him up on, ever since that pronouncement, what
actions have been taken after the pronouncement. So
we'd
like to see if the president should make a statement like this. We expect that the soldiers will swing into action immediately, and we'll begin to see results within the next 24 hours.
The soldiers here being all those that work with him, all his lieutenants, not necessarily the ones clad in uniforms.
Yeah, of course. But you know that if the president has spoken, they would like to. Mr. Obla, we thank you that you're back again online. So let's get your views, really, because if Maina was able to, you said the president made a statement, and a lot of people are expecting that this statement that he has made, the soldiers will move and swing into action. What has happened since then?
We must understand that we are not in a military regime where things are done with alacrity, with dispatch. We are in a constitutional democracy. The constitutional democracy is, as a matter of fact, very slow and deliberate. Things have to be done in accordance with laid down regulations, laid down laws and processes. Things must be done in accordance with the rule of law. And the rule of law requires patience, requires a systematic approach. We require fact-finding before you hang anybody. You must find facts. You must give in a presumption that is innocent. You understand. So we must understand that we are in a democracy. We should not operate as if we are in a military regime.
Do you believe that the Maina case...
We have to be patient. We have to ensure that the due process is followed. Otherwise, the corruption is not all about stealing money. Corruption is also if you do not follow laid down processes, if you do not follow the rule of law. It's also corruption. So, which are fighting corruption, it must be holistically. It cannot just be, those who steal money are said to be corrupt. If you do not follow the law, you are corrupt.
Let me get this response from you. Do you think that the Maina case is moving as fast as you would have expected it to move?
The man has been... He has been charged, and the president is carrying out inquiry. The president has the head of service to make a response. All the those who have been mentioned have to make a response. We also have the Service Commission. Matter of Civil Service Commission is the body responsible for promotion, for recruitment, for discipline. Understand? So all the whole thing about the statement was a matter of the Service Commission.
Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, we're winding down now. We couldn't re-establish the connection with Mr. Obla, but you got people who are asking questions. I see Festus Akim Kimboyewa, who says, for instance, very sad that the APC government is zigzagging towards failure in Nigeria. Corruption will be canonized if the president fails to prosecute and put corrupt politicians, including those in his government, behind bars before 2019.
Wouldn't that be too harsh an opinion against this government?
There's a conditional clause. He says, if they fail to prosecute and put corrupt politicians. But you know, conditional clause notwithstanding, they've got to, it's not that they have to do that by fiat. You know, there's a process.
There's a process, of course.
So they've got to, if they're guilty, they've got to be investigated. I think it's only the courts that can even say people are guilty. So when that investigation is on, they've got to go to courts. The court process has got to be completed. When you get the sentence, they do the time or whatever is agreed in court. But that's where we speak about the judicial process. But we had Mr. SAN speaking about the process as well, that he thinks that Administration of Criminal Justice Act now, he believes that that alone should give some impetus, some bite, some, you know, some zest, injecting into the whole fight against corruption. But it's instructive to see that they're also talking about including those in the president's government. That's where lots of people want to see action. They may not conclude, but they want to see action, and not just for them. They think, well, waiting and waiting. How long are they going to wait for some reports or any allegations? Are we even going to get it investigated? After which, what happens?
I begin to wonder if anything will happen between now and 2019, considering what our first guest said, that there's a lot of employments that, or should I say appointments, that are supposed to be made by the APC, and up till this time, they're still foot dragging about it. Will that be a main impact to try to see that all the angles, all the loopholes, all the troubled spots that the APC is facing right now, at least will be controlled to a certain higher degree? But that will be the president's prerogative, I think, and maybe perhaps the party.
In talking about things that need to be done before the next elections, and some will say that campaigns actually will start next year, so we have less than two months to even do anything. Bonaventure is saying, Mainas case must not be treated with kid gloves, but not without due process to the law. So it's all about the processes, the machinery of government. Even if you're saying whether campaigns are going to start in 2018 or whether they're going to start in 2019, it's all about the machinery of governance, the processes. At the end of the day, is the law followed through? Are the processes according to the rule of law?
But you know, we should also drop this before we go. Two things. First is that while Mr. Obla was speaking, there were questions we couldn't put in because we couldn't reestablish a connection. So why is it that when the man was still on the wanted list of the EFCC, why were all those procedures going on without anybody saying, wait a minute, your name is still on the EFCC wanted list, so you should report to the EFCC? That didn't happen. Why? The interagency cooperation, where are we in that? I mean, how strong or weak is it? What do we need to do to strengthen it? Is the EFCC fighting this alone? Is it getting cooperation from other security agencies? So even if the Minister of Interior says, turn yourself in, Mr. Mena, has that happened? What has the minister done about that if that hasn't happened? So we have so many questions about all of those. So, but we'll keep on our tabs and see what exactly happens at the end of the day. And that's the show today. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Thanks for watching. I'm Gimba Umar.
I'm Neo Taigbe. Thank you.